Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, everybody. Welcome back to another Conceptis portion of today's stream. Well, actually, we're starting up a stream, period. But, we're going to be starting off with some Conceptis puzzles to start off with. We'll be doing this for about an hour. Then we'll probably go straight into playing some Genshin right afterwards. So there won't be necessarily any like a just chatting break or anything along those lines. Um, so yeah. Past couple days, we were able to actually finish off a lot of these puzzles. They were actually, fairly easy, or at least, fairly easy for me myself. I mean, if you guys were, if any of you are struggling for it or anything along those lines, feel free to ask. Okay, don't, you know, if you need any, uh, I don't necessarily, you know, I don't necessarily want people to struggle with this, and um, I don't want you feeling like you're alone in trying to solve these puzzles if you're having a hard time with it. Okay, um, so if you're going through these puzzles, you're kind of struggling, you're not quite sure what to do, or maybe there's like something about them that you're not quite sure how to go about solving it, then feel free to ask. Okay, whether it's like right now while I'm live, you could put it into a comment on one of the other, either like in this video itself or in any of the previous Conceptus videos in the comment section, or you can go to my Discord and chat with me there. Okay, I don't mind, helping you um, if you're having a little bit of difficulty with trying to figure out like some of these puzzles. So now I'm not going to say that I'm the best at it, because clearly there are others that can kind of see things, pick things up quicker, than I can. But I can at least try to help you out. If it's something that I can see and I can give you a little bit of insight that might help you out, then I'm willing to help you out with it. So obviously the harder the puzzle is, then it might be you know a little difficult depending on um, depending on what you're dealing with, right? But um, but still, I will do what I can to try to um, give you a hand if you need it. So yep, okay. So we've finished off the Pic-a-Pix and the Cross-a-Pix, so those are done. We finished off all the ones that I wanted to do for the number logic puzzles, so those are out of the way. So really the only other puzzles that I would normally do would be the Link-a-Pix, the Fill-a-Pix, and the Block-a-Pix. So let's see. What do we got here? We have an easy one. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. We could probably start with that one. Let me check the other two here real quick. We have the Fill-a-Pix. This one's saying that it's ultra easy. Okay. Maybe we'll start on that one, definitely. And the Block-a-Pix. Medium plus. Okay, so this one is gonna take a while. So we'll start on the other two, the Fill-a-Pix and the Link-a-Pix, and then we'll leave the Block-a-Pix for last and work on that. And who knows, it might actually take us, 4 days of, a single hour per just to kind of get through the Block-a-Pix. So it all depends, we'll see what we have to kind of tackle and what what we might be kind of dealing with. So, um, sorry, getting the stage ready over here on my Discord. So if anybody wants to hop on in and listen to me directly, they have that. So, all right. So we'll start with the Fill-a-Pix first, and get through this puzzle. So there's a lot of nines, which is great because that's just basically everything filled in. We also have a lot of zeros here too, so this is interesting. Okay. Those are done, and that's done. Okay. No other zeros, so let's fill in these nines because they are easy to do. That and that. And I think that is it for all the nines, right? Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Okay, so now we're going to kind of do a little bit of the aftermath here. This 4 is done. This 6 is beats those 3 left. This 4 is done. This 5 is done. This 1 is done. This 8 is done. This 8 is done. This 8 is done. This 8 is done. And okay, that's obviously, the easiest ones out of the way. Then let's see. This 7 just needs 2 more, so there's that. This 8 has its 1 blank, so the rest of it needs to be filled in. This 3 is done. This 8 has its 1 blank, so the rest needs to be filled in. Okay, this 7 has the 2 blanks, so the rest needs to be filled in. The 7 is all done, just needs 1 more blank. The 7 has the 2 blanks, so it just needs the rest filled in. And this 8 is missing a blank, so there's that. 7 has its 2 blanks, but just needs 1 more, so there we go. This 3 is done. This 7 needs 1 more filled in, because 2 blanks are done, so there we go. This 4 is done. This 7 has its 2 blanks, so it just needs 1 more. There we go. This 6 is done. This 6 has the 3 blanks, so it just needs 2 more. This 8 has its 1 blank, just needs 1 more. Okay. That's about as much as I can see that is, like easily confirmable right at the moment. So, Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else I can kind of do with this right at this moment in time. Like, there's nothing that I can like instantaneously go, oh yeah, it's this. Like for example, the 6, has 1 needed and 1 more blank, and it could be either one of these 2 right at the moment. I don't know which one. So, at this time. So, but what we'll do is this 2 here is, just missing the 2, and there we go. Same with this 2, but we can't really put it here because we still have these 3 up here, but this 4 only has 4 left there, and well, guess what? This 2 is done, so this 2 only has 2 more spots left, so there's that. This 2 is done. This 2 has 2 spots available. There we go. Okay, this 6 has 3 spots with blanks, so it just needs 4 more. So there we go. This 4 is done. This 3 is done. And now we look at everything else here. Let's see. This 6 has 3 blanks, so it just needs the rest filled in. This 4 is done. This 7 has 2 blanks, so the rest needs to be filled in. This 4 needs 1 more. And this 6 is done, just needs 1 blank. There we go. This 3 is done. This 3 needs 2 more. The 7 has 2 blanks, so it just needs the rest filled in. And this 8 needs 1 blank. There we go. And this 8 needs to be filled in. This 8 needs 1 blank. This 7 needs 1 more, so there's that. And the 2 is done. This 3 is done. And this 3 needs 1 more. And this 1 is done. This 3 needs 2 more. This 3 is done. And okay, this 5 has 4 already blank, and so it's just missing 5. So there we go. This 3 is done. This 5 has 4 blank, so it just needs 2 more. There we go. This 3 is done. This 6 has 3 blanks, just needs 1 more. So there's that. This 4 is done. This 6 is done. So everything's good over there. This 5 is done. This 3 needs 2 more. This 2 is done. This 4 needs 2 more. And this 4 is done. Okay, this 5 has 4 blanks, so it just needs 2 more. This 3 is done. This 4 is done. And this 3 needs 1 more. And this 2 is done. And this 5 has 4 blanks, so it just needs 2 more. And this 6 is done, so it just needs 1 blank. And there 6 needs 1. This 5 is done. And this 3 needs 1 more. And there we go. All done. So. Alright, so Fill-a-Pix is done. Oops, wait a minute. Was I showing any of that? I don't think I was. Oh no. I'm sorry. I don't think I was showing any of that. No, I don't think I was. I'm sorry, folks. Let me. I forgot to show the main screen. Frack. I mean, it didn't really take very long. Let me restart it. Sorry about that. Let me do this again. So again, hey there, Kirito. How you doing there, bud? So once again, we're going to go ahead and blank out all the zeros. Because obviously there's nothing associated with the zeros at all, so there's nothing tied with them. You know, and then we fill in for all the 9s. There we go. All the 9s are filled in, so, or, you know, will be filled in. So there we go. So here's all of our 9s taken care of. So then we'll take care of everything that's already been done. So this 4 is done. This 6 needs a little bit more. This 4 is done. This 5 is done. This 1 is done. This 8 is done. This 8 is done. This 8 is done. This 8 is done. And, you know, that was it for all the like simple ones kind of thing, or, you know, fairly easy, but let's move on to the others because we have this 7 here that just needs 2 more. So there's that. This 8 just, is, has that 1 blank, so it just needs to be filled in there. This 3 is done. This 8 has the 1 blank, so it just needs the rest filled in. The 7 has 2 blanks, so it just needs the rest filled in there. The 7 is done, so it just needs 1 blank. The 7 has the 2 blanks now, so fill the rest in. This 8 is done, so it needs 1 blank. This 7 just needs 1 more. This 3 is done. This 7 needs 1 more, and this 4 is done. So there's that. The 7 needs 1 more, so put that there. This 6 is done, so it just needs 1 more blank. This 6 can place 2 more there. And, that's about as much as we can do over on this side. This 8 has its 1 blank, so it needs 1 more. And, everything, like, this is where I was, mentioning how I couldn't necessarily move on from this portion, the fact that, the 6 has either a blank or a block filled in, but I don't know where to put it in this particular spot, for example. So that's when I was like, okay, let's move on to taking care of other things that we see. So okay, I mean, when you're writing your own personal stories there, Kirito, about, whatever, whatever you kind of want to, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, Now, if you ever like publish it out into the real world or something like that, or want to kind of, put it out to the real world, for anybody else to see, you'll probably want to put in that little blurb in there that, I'm not following standard Star Wars canon, so, this is my own, this is what I want to write. Then most people will be okay with that. I don't think no one should ever come after you for kind of writing what you want to write. Okay, so don't stress about that. So, okay, we got, this 2 just has those 2 left, so that's why I was able to fill that in. We have the 4 here, and this 2 is done. This 2 has 2 more left, so, and this 2 is done. Same 2 here. And we're all good on that end. So, okay, then we would have 6, with the 3 blank. And so we just have the 4, and we need 4 more for the 6. So that one's done. This 4 is done. And this 3 is done. Then this 6 had the 3 blanks, so we can fill in the rest there. This 4 is done. This 7 has 2 blanks, so it needs the rest filled in. This 4 needs 1 more. And this 6 needs 1 more blank. So there's that. This 3 is done. This 7 has 2 blanks now, so we can fill in the rest. This 8 needs 1 blank. This 8 has its 1 blank, so rest filled in. This 8 can put its 1 blank down. This 7 needs 1 more, and this 2 is done. This 3 is done. This 3 needs 1 more, and this 1 is done. This 3 needs 2 more. This 3 is done. And this 5 has 4 blanks already, so we can fill in the rest. This 3 is done. This 5 needs 2 more. This 6 has 3 blanks already, so it just needs to fill in there. And everything down here is done. The 3 is done. The 4 is done. So, and the 6 just needs 2 more blank. So all that's taken care of. So, I mean, you're welcome to ask me, you know, what I think Obi-Wan Kenobi would do, but like, I'm not gonna be, I can try to give you what I would assume he would do, but I wouldn't necessarily be like I wouldn't necessarily say that I would be like the leading, um, individual to know, because you have to understand that my knowledge comes from the movies themselves and just the movies. Um, so I never watched any of the Clone War TV shows or movies or anything along those lines. So if they have any like additional information there about his particular character, which I'm assuming he does, um, then I'm not really privy to that. So, okay, 3 just has the 1 left, so there's that. This 5 is done. This 3 needs 2 more. This 2 is done. This 4 needs 2 more, and this 4 is done. This 5, has 4 blanks, so it just needs 2 more. This 4 is done. This 3 is done, and this 3 needs 1 more. This 2 is done. This 5 has its 4 blanks, so it just needs 2 more. The 6 is done, so it just needs 1 more blank. The 6 needs 1 more. This 5 is done, and the 3 needs 1, and there we go. So that's the puzzle. Sorry for not showing it before. Apologies on that. So, alright. But hey, I showed it again, so you guys can kind of see how I went about doing it. So, alright. So let's go ahead and go into the Link-a-Pix, which is another easy one. So, um, Padawans are not supposed to be going on solo missions, so they should always have a master with them when they are going out, because they're training. So, um, so they should always have like a master with them, or at least, one would think a master should be with them. Now, if the Padawan's kind of going off on their own, because they want to, then that Padawan's probably going to get um, like a talking to, someone like that's going to be like going, "What are you doing? You know, um, you're doing things that are against the Jedi Order or whatever." So yeah, not something that any master would be happy about, you know, if a Padawan just kind of goes off on and does their own kind of thing, especially if they're going to be like, um, hey, I'm going to go and tackle, I'm going to go tackle this one problem and you know take care of it myself and say that the Jedi did it, when in fact they're not officially like a Jedi yet. They're still in training. So, um, so if they start messing up big time, then they're basically kind of staining the reputation of being a Jedi. So that's typically why you have a master with them, so that um, they aren't necessarily making major mistakes. So, all right, but we're continuing on with the Link-a-Pix. It's an easy puzzle, so I'm just kind of going through the motions here, clearing out all the filling everything in here. real quick, all the easy ones. So let's see. Take care of those. Go for there. There, 5 there. 8, 9, 6. 12 is not a straight shot. Okay. Well, if you have a Jedi, if you have a general that is, trying to send, someone out on missions kind of thing, that is, potentially going against the rules of the Jedi, then you're probably going to have a little bit of difficulty between the general and the Jedi. Just saying. Because um, the general is basically putting the Padawan at risk and potentially and they are also doing it in such a fashion where um, they have the potential of um, you know the general's doing it in such a way where they could potentially be destroying the Jedi reputation by sending a Padawan out that's untrained. You know, I mean, let me put it this way. Um, Jedi is supposed to be like maintaining order. Um, I remember one time I was reading this one book where I um, forget exactly which one it was. Forget what book it was. Okay, but I remember one time I read about a Jedi. I forget exactly who. Um, they went into they went into a city, and like one of the citizens saw um, that the Jedi was a Jedi was there, and they were like going, Jedi, Jedi, I'm dealing with a problem right at this moment in time. Please come and help me resolve this dispute that I have with this other person, right? So, so what basically happens is that you have the Jedi kind of sitting there, and you have, you know, one person kind of pleading their case about like, what was kind of what had happened to them. You had the person that they were kind of accusing of, causing a problem or whatever kind of thing. The Jedi kind of sits there, meditates, or listens to what's being said, and you know, the Jedi was able to like listen to the person's words, use their force abilities to determine, who's lying, who wasn't lying, who's telling the truth, got that kind of thing to kind of have, they were basically like a lie detector at that point, right? So, um, and they were listened to both argue, both arguments and stuff like that, and they basically came to a conclusion of how to handle the situation that you know was either beneficial for the one that was like making the accusation, or they would basically go, no, this guy is in the right. He did what he needed to do. Like he charged you a certain amount of money. That's his price. So you know, so you're gonna have to follow his price right at this moment in time. Or something along those lines, right? So if you have a Padawan that isn't trained and they're kind of sitting there trying to listen to the argument, and they make the wrong determination, or they come across like the wrong, or they try to like convict someone like, hey, you need to go to jail or you need to go into prison because you stole, when that wasn't necessarily the case, then they are basically tarnishing the reputation of Jedis. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you typically have a master there being able to um, clearly figure out like what is going on, what needs to happen, how to resolve the situation, blah blah blah. Um, so having a general come in and say, this Padawan needs to go out and do this kind of thing, well, and they need to go out and do this thing for myself, and no other master needs to go with them, or whatever, then you're gonna have the Jedi and him being at odds, and the masters of the Jedi Order are probably going to be stepping in and going, what you're doing is dangerous for us, for the rest of the galaxy. You know, a single stain on our reputation by what a Padawan does could have irreparable harm, for everybody. Because word of mouth goes around saying that the Jedi Order are throwing people in prison or something along those lines, for example, then that causes problems, right? So no master would really appreciate that, not even Yoda. So, but that's based off of what I know, so um, so just kind of letting you know about that, because um, yeah. Go. Well, if you're having a general that kind of goes against the Jedi Order, then I can't really help you too much on that then, because you're basically having someone that kind of does his own thing. So you're going to need to kind of figure out how to handle that particular situation, because you're basically going to have um, two organizations that are at odds with each other. Okay. And if a Padawan is defying the will of the council, then you bet your ass that Padawan's going to be kicked out. They're not in. They're either going to basically say you're not allowed to follow the general's orders from henceforth, or he can leave. I would imagine that's basically what's going to happen. You know, because um, you know, they want to keep training them into in how to be a Jedi, and um, if the Padawan is being, you know, super defiant, you know, then yeah, you can bet your ass that they're, you know, the masters are not going to stand for it, and they're probably going to basically say, um, you know, we're not going to train someone such as you if you are not going to listen to the will of the council. So, and there's nothing that Riven is going to say about that, or Riven can say about that to be, um, because, um, you know, the training, at least, you know, in the, you know, the training of Jedi's requires the utmost commitment, you know, through and through, you know, as Yoda put it. So, to have someone that absolutely defies said commitment is not going to be trained. You know, Yoda was this close to, you know, not training Luke Skywalker. You know, just because of how much patience he did not have. You know, how little patience he had. You know, and the fact that Yoda still sensed anger in him. So, do you think that he would be willing to train Riven that, you know, you're you're creating, you know, and basically saying, "Oh yeah, you can go out and do your own thing"? No. You can be sure that they would basically go, "You are, you know, you're not following the will of the council, and therefore, um, you're not upholding to the, um, you know, you're not holding to the utmost commitment of a of the Jedi." So that's all. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with this one. Okay, let me put it this, and let's see. This 10 is basically going to need to kind of go down through here, right? Because if this 10 goes, you know, try to put it around there, one, it doesn't work. Obviously, it doesn't reach. But two, it blocks off this 8. So obviously, we can't have that. So it's going to be going down through this point. Whether it's straight or if it's, you know, curved around, don't really know. Either way, you know, it's going through there, right? This 8 here could be like curving around this way, or it could be curved around that way. Either way, it's coming out to at least this point here. So that means that this 7 here, that, you know, it only has this other 7 down there, is going to be coming out to this point and going straight down. So Jedi are not scared, so I don't know what you're doing there. Scared is the same as fear. Fear leads to the dark side. So Jedi Order are very mindful. So, and you're saying that one person is able to defeat their entire order. Well, I mean, you can do with whatever headcanon you want, there, my friend. Um, but you know, but you're that's one thing that would definitely probably trigger quite a few um, Star Wars fans. So okay. Okay, so these two 8s are probably connected with each other. These two 8s are probably connected with each other. So this 8 and this 8 is probably connected with each other. Or maybe it's this 8 and that one. Okay, well, I can't do that because it would block off this other 8. So this one's going down there a little bit. This 8 has to come out this way. This 8's coming out that way. These two 5s are connected with each other, and these two 5s are connected with each other. Obviously, doesn't have enough length to get over here, for example. So, plus, I mean, even if these two were to connect, this one would have nowhere to get to. So, but don't know if it's this kind of connection or this kind of connection. Not sure. So we'll have to wait on that. For 6 minutes in. You know more about the Star Rail lore than I do. Like I said, I kind of gave up on it after a while, so. But here's the reason why you're okay. You're saying that the Xinjiao Alliance is, you're saying that it's stronger, but here's the thing. First off, they're not gods. First off, they aren't because um, you know, they still have gods in that universe that are more powerful than they are. First off. So don't make that assumption that they are because they aren't. Second, you're basically stating that the Shinja Alliance is larger than an entire galaxy. Now, if I remember correctly, the Shinja Alliance, did have a number of different planets associated with the Alliance, but not a galaxy's worth. Their ship is not a galaxy-sized ship, if I remember correctly. Um, so I don't think it was that big. Um, so you're saying that the Shinja Alliance is larger than the entire Republic itself. I have to kind of throw doubt on that personally. Um, so and um, you're basically stating that these individuals, are more powerful than the Jedi. Um, which again, the fact that lightsabers themselves can pretty much cut through anything, pretty much anything, not everything, but pretty much everything. Um, you know, that would basically mean that the individuals themselves would have to have some form of material that can stop a lightsaber from, you know, getting through them, which there's very, very few between those two. So, so I don't know what the Kitsune is. Hold on. Ah, okay. All right. Okay, well, here's the thing. Um, I don't know where he's getting his information from, kind of thing, but um, when you have, obviously, both societies have, faster than light travel. So there's that. Okay. Um, the thing with the Star Rail universe is that they tend to have more mystical than anything else. Now, mystical and force powers, you can make the assumption that both are kind of aligned with each other. Okay. You could try anyway. Um, but that's the thing. For a force user, you're saying that this person can summon a giant fox spirit. Force powers are very much aligned with energy beings. So you think that a Jedi can look at that fox spirit and say, "What are you doing here? Go away." Do you think that they can't do that? Um, because it's similar energies in a sense. You're talking about mystical energies, and Jedi's are trained to control that energy. The fact that Yoda was able to at 800, not even his peak years, at 800 years old, being a very old master at this point in time, so he was kind of struggling in his old age. He lifted an X-Wing out of the bog and floated it meters across across the way to land in front of Luke. So, what exactly was holding up that X-Wing to make it float across nothing? So, uh, you know, and let's face it, you also have the technology of Star Wars as well, where you actually have them being able to construct technology to the point where they were, created a Death Star that was able to destroy entire planets, you know, themselves. I have yet to see um, anything in Star Rail suggest that much power yet. And two, they were able to, construct, you know, ships and or planets that were able to absorb an entire sun to power their station. So I don't know, man. I think Blackheart might be giving a little too much power to the Shinjao Alliance. Just saying, you know. Now, the Shinjao Alliance, you know, um, obviously they have some form of, you know, you could probably consider them more of like a Dyson sphere, basically like a station around, station around a live sun, so that they can still kind of they can basically create um a um an atmosphere, what's what I'm looking for, um an artificial atmosphere, but they still have the sun in the center to be able to handle, um, you know, uh, making sure that they're, they still had light, they still had, sunlight to, handle crops and so on and so forth, and, they were still kind of able to travel around and so on and so forth, right? So that's kind of what a Dyson sphere is all about. And, the Shenzhou Alliance kind of gives me that level. But that's the thing. The Shenzhou Alliance, sure, they might need to kind of build, and, they might be able to build a ship that might encompass a couple stars. Um, but it would really be kind of difficult for them to fly it around, for one thing. Um, because you're basically talking about power levels that would have to drag stars around, or try to force stars to move, which, you know again, they never outright stated that the Shinja Alliance had a star like inside the ship. um they had the they had a lot of different areas inside the ship, but they never mentioned having a star or multiple stars or a galaxy worth of stars inside the Shenzhou Alliance. That's why I'm thinking, you guys are, I feel like you guys are giving a little too much power to them, you know. So, um, you're giving them a little too much, I feel. So, you know, I never got the impression that their ship was a galaxy-sized ship. So that's why, you know, I don't I don't necessarily agree with you guys' assertion that the Central Alliance is larger than the entire galaxy of Star Wars. I just don't necessarily see that. You know, could the ship be the size of a solar system? Sure. I can totally understand that kind of assertion. Um, I mean, models have been done that are, you know, that have talked about how people have put, you know, stars in a sphere for the Dyson sphere. But if you're saying that you have a ship the size of an entire galaxy, I'm sorry. I don't think you have enough materials to build a ship that size, plus make it, be able to travel through space. So the energy required for something like that would be too much. That would be way beyond, like, trying to move a ship that is larger than a galaxy. You wouldn't have enough energy for that. Period. So, like, you would need like multiple suns, and even then, you wouldn't have enough. So, yeah. Uh, I think you guys are giving a little too much power to them. I feel. So, here, matter of fact, let me look it up real quick. Um, Honkai Star Rail, Shenzhou Alliance. Mm, let's see. Um, hmm. Okay, I'm not really seeing much in the overall size of the ships. The one thing that I will point out here, okay, is that they said the Xinjiao Alliance was established by the Xinjiao natives who were present on all ships. After being rescued from their dying homeworld, the blah, blah, blah established themselves on at least 5 of the 6 ships, with each of the ships having a high elder. Um, so blah 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 blah. Same statement. Blah blah blah. And nothing that I'm really concerned about here. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much in the demographics right at this moment in time. So let me go up to the description here. In the ancient era of legends, multiple Xinjiao ships were tasked with with voyaging across the stars, not galaxies, stars, to search for the miracle medicine of immortality. The endless voyage took its toll on Xinjiao, wearing away its conviction and shape along the long years, until they eventually encounter the Yoshi, or Yaoshi, whatever. However, all that fruit of immortality brought upon them were sorrows, poverty, and endless war and death. It wasn't until Lan returned from the abyss, using gravity as bowstring and stars as arrows, Lan shattered the Ambrosia Harbor and put the wickedness of the abundance to an end. After Shinjal returned to the righteous path, it formed an alliance under the guidance of the Hunt and formed a powerful army known as the Cloud. Over the years, the alliance landed on a great number of worlds. But nowhere in here does it mention the fact that they are anywhere near the size of a galaxy. Now, I'm not saying that they are by any means weak, but you're basically putting them up against the entire Republic. You know. So, no. Sorry, I don't see them being stronger than the Republic. So, you're talking about thousands of stars worth of, population, within the Republic versus the Shenzhou Alliance, which sure, has 6 ships that might be the size of a solar system, but you're talking about you're talking about 6, potential solar systems worth of population versus thousands. I'm not seeing it there, bud. So you're I have a funny feeling that you're kind of giving the Shenzhou Alliance a little too much power. So, um, Star Wars Republic. How many worlds? According to Star Wars lore, the Galactic Republic spanned across millions of inhabited worlds throughout the galaxy, with the exact number not definitively stated, but often estimated in the range of several million planets within its territory. I never got that impression of having millions within the Shenzhou Alliance. So sorry to say, but I don't know about your assertion about the Shenzhou Alliance being a being a terror to the Republic or to the Jedi. Sorry, I'm gonna have to say major doubt on that one personally. But again, this is your story there, bud. If you want to take it in that direction, you're more than welcome to. So if you feel like that is something that you want to do, then by all means go for it. I'm not gonna. I don't necessarily want to squish what you're saying on it, but at the same time, um, based off of previous knowledge, I don't know about that. So, but again, as you stated there, Kirito, you don't have to be 100% accurate. It's your own headcanon. So if you want to have fun with it, then have fun with it. You don't necessarily need to use my particular knowledge or use established lore or something like that to do what you want to do. So, but here's the thing: as soon as you start going and doing your own thing, then it's going to be very difficult for you to kind of get back on track with already established lore because you're now on your own path. You're doing your own kind of thing. I mean, the fact that you're kind of combining, lores from different sources anyway that, weren't meant to be kind of, mixed together, you're already kind of doing that anyway. So it's it's already kind of not accurate. Um, and that's fine. Like I said, people can have fun with whatever they want to have fun with. Okay. Um, so I mean, if you want to say that the Republic is afraid of the Shenzhou Alliance, and be my guest. But um, you're not necessarily going to convince me on it. So, um, so just saying, you know, um, so yeah. Okay, man. Well, I need to go ahead and save this because we're not done with it. We'll continue this tomorrow. And then we are going to go ahead and close down on this particular video for Conceptis, and we'll move on to Genshin Impact in a minute or two. So, I want to thank Kirito for stopping on by and chatting with me during this video. I appreciate it. I want to thank anybody else that was just kind of lurking in the background. Hopefully you've had a good time enjoying, the conversation as well as the puzzles. Feel free to check out the description for multiple links down there. Discord, Patreon, Throne. I got my stream team, Team Robot down there that you can check out. The application page. Um, like and subscribe would be fantastic. And if you want to check out the other playlists that I have on my channel for, additional content. But that's going to be it for tonight. For the Conceptis, we got Genshin Impact coming up. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I catch you next time. But until then, take care. Have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe. And I'll catch you strangers next time.